what I didn't do that I would recommend everybody does now,
Hmm.
and I do now, is I often write the counterpoint to what I believe to be happening. So I often will try to sort of, okay, I think this is happening. Can I credibly write the opposite? And the sort of trying to see around corners, it's something I've prided myself about, but actually I never took it further. So I could say, hey, I know that email production work inside of Salesforce Marketing Cloud is going away.
Hmm.
What I didn't do was say, what happens when it does? And what could be coming from behind. So I think as leaders, you know the risk points in your business. You know where you're weak. You know what could be coming, right? That's our job as leaders, is to be able to see a couple of steps ahead. What I would suggest is you take it one or two steps further and say, so what happens when that happens?
Hmm.
Disaster plan. And if I had done that, I would have been better at prepping our board. I would have been better at saying this could happen, and if it does, if this line of revenue goes to zero, what happens? And then you model it out. And it doesn't mean that you get it right, but at least it means you're not quite as reactive. And we were 100% reactive. And I knew that it was coming.
Yeah.
So I should have had a bunch of thoughts, discussions, things laid out. And that I would suggest for every leader, write the sort of opposite end of your business, the negatives and the risks. And I think candidly, we should be doing more of that anyway. Is like, who's the person that's trying to kill your business?
Yeah.
And write it from their perspective. And that sort of, again, that reduction of risk or that ability to plan will make you better in the face of whatever eventual change is coming.
And it's funny because we were just talking about being more human, but I will tell you that AI as a thought partner in that process is invaluable because you can keep telling it to come at it from different angles and view it from different angles. And a lot of times you will find some illumination in that.
Well, I just wrote about this in Forbes as well, but the biggest risk, there's risk in that too. I
Hmm.
agree. I think particularly leadership can be very lonely, right? You
And
know more than most people around you. And so having a partner that you can tell anything to without judgment is the most sort of enticing thing. However, the models are built as sycophants, and they're built that way intentionally because they want you to continue usage. And by the way, incredibly effective. The greatest risk for leaders is that we fall in love with the version of ourselves that the AI reflects. Don't fall in love with that version. I promise not all your ideas are good ones. I promise that it's not the most brilliant thing that's ever been said. And so train your model intentionally. Frame this to me this way, push me back. Two prompts that are pretty life changing. One is to say, I need you to give me this answer as if someone's life depends on it, because then it won't soft pedal. It's like, then it builds urgency into the model. And again, say, take out the flattery and the language and push, because the risk is we as leaders believe that we're more capable, we're more sort of polished, and it actually hasn't come with knowledge. It's just come from refining a point of view. We actually have to be the ones to create it.
yeah, total shameless plug, but the reason I wanted to develop Proxy is because I wanted a human to be able to have full context, understand the humans, but be a third party that you know is only there to make you successful. And and I don't care if you do that with advisors, coaches, your internal team, whatever that is, you have to try and eliminate bias, but have full context. So that's going to be my takeaway or my giveaway for everybody that's listening is, have that. Um, I couldn't agree with you more. Have a human uh, assistant to the AI sycophant, because you're right. It's only there to make you happy and continue serving up dopamine for how smart you are.
Exactly. And it's intoxicating. It's incredible. It's this thing that's going to tell it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think at the beginning of Singularity, they divided us. There were 70 of us from around the world. They divided us into the optimists and the pessimists. And I am forever in the
I was
optimism.
going to say, I know you're an optimist. You and I both are.